But for masculine mind, it is not the goal. Really, the effort. Because then he proves that I am masculine. The very effort, the very aggression, and the very possibility of death gives him the thrill. So danger is very appealing to masculine mind. For feminine mind, it has no appeal at all. Because of this, human history is really half regarded. The other half has been totally unregarded, left unregarded. We don't know how many women became Buddhas. Impossible to know. Because our measurement, our criterion cannot be applied to the feminine mind. So first decide about your own mind. First meditate about your own mind, what type of mind you have got. Then forget all those methods which don't belong to you and don't try to reconcile them. Second question. You have said, learn to include more and more of existence into your being. Draw energy from the root source of all existence. Be inclusive even of your enemy. How can I be inclusive of my enemy while at the same time going fully into the emotion of hating? Does this not lead to suppression? I have said be inclusive even of your enemy, but I have not said to start from the enemy. Start from the friend. You are not even inclusive of the friend as you are right now. Start from the friend. Even that is difficult, to include the friend into your being, to allow him to enter in you and penetrate you, to be open to him, vulnerable. Start from the friend. Start from the lover, the beloved. Don't jump to the enemy. And why you jump to the enemy? Because then you can say it is impossible. It cannot be done. So you can discard it. Start from the first step. You start from the last. How can the journey become possible? You always start from the last step. And the first has not been taken yet. So the last is only in the imagination. And you feel it impossible. Of course, it is impossible. How can you start from the end? The enemy is the last point to be included. If you can include your friend, it becomes possible. Because only friends become enemies. You cannot make someone enemy without making him first your friend. Or can you? Friendship will be needed first if you want someone to make your enemy. Friendship will be the first step. So really, Buddha is reported to have said that don't make friends, because that is the first step, to make enemies. So Buddha says be friendly, don't make friends. If you make friends, you have already taken the first step. Now it is not very far away when you will make the enemy. Include the friend. Start from the near. Begin from the beginning. Only then it is possible. You don't feel any difficulty when you have to include the friend and be inclusive of the friend. It is difficult. Because it is not a question about friend and enemy. It is a question of your opening. Even for the friend, you are closed. Even with the friend, you remain guarded. Even with the friend, you have not revealed your being totally. So how can you include him? You can include him only when there is no fear. When you are not afraid. When you can allow him to move within you. And you are not making any security arrangements. Even with the beloved, you are closed. You have not opened your mind. Still, there are few things which are secret, private. If you have privacy, you cannot be open. You cannot be inclusive. Because then the privacy can be known. Then your secrets can become public. It is not so easy to include even a friend. So don't think it is difficult to include an enemy. It is impossible right now. That's why Jesus' teaching became impossible. And Christians became pseudo. They had to. Because Jesus says, love your enemies. And you are not even capable of loving your friends. He gives you an impossible goal. You are bound to become hypocrites. Pseudo. You will not be authentic. You will talk about loving your enemies, and you will hate your friends. I am not saying that. So the first thing, don't think of the enemy right now. That's the trick of your mind. Think of the friend. Second thing, the question is not to include someone, the question is to be inclusive. That's the quality of your consciousness. Create the inclusiveness, create the quality. How can you create the quality? For that is the technique. You are sitting nearby a tree. Look at the tree, it is outside you. But if it is really outside you, you cannot know it. Something of it has already traveled within you. That's why you can know the tree is there. It is green. But do you know? The green exists in you, not in the tree. When you close your eyes, the tree is not green. Now scientists say this. That the color is given by you. Everything in nature is colorless. There exists no color. Color comes into being when rays traveling from a particular object meet your eye. Then the color is created. So color is given by your eye. It is the meeting of the tree and you where greenness happens. And the flowers are there in bloom. And the scent comes to you and you smell it. But that fragrance also is given by you. It is not in nature. Only waves are coming towards you, which you translate as smell. It is your nose which smells it. If you are not there, there will be no smell. So really, there have been philosophers like Berkeley, Nagarjuna, Shankara, who said the world is unreal. It is just in your mind. Because whatsoever we know about the world is really given by us. Because of this, Immanuel Kant, a German incurrent philosopher, he says the thing in itself cannot be known. Whatsoever we know is not the thing, it is our projection. Your face to me looks beautiful. Your face is neither beautiful nor ugly. It is my attitude. It is I who make you beautiful or ugly. It depends on me. It is my feeling. If you are alone in the world and there is no one to say that you are ugly or beautiful, you will not be either. Or will you be? If you are alone on the earth, will you be beautiful or ugly? Will you be intelligent or foolish? You will be nothing. Really, you cannot exist alone on the earth. You cannot be. If you are sitting near a tree, meditate. Open your eyes and look at the tree, and then close your eyes and look at the tree within. If you try it, again open the eyes, meditate on the tree, then close the eyes and look at the tree within. In the beginning, the tree within will be a faint shadow of the tree out. But if you go on continuing, by and by, it will come to have the same reality and being as the tree without. And if you continue and persist, which is difficult, a moment comes when the outer tree becomes just a shadow of the inner. The inner becomes more beautiful, more alive. Because now, your inner consciousness is the soil for it. Now it is rooted in the inner consciousness. Now it is feeding on the consciousness really. It is something rare. So when people like Jesus talk about kingdom of God, they talk in such colorful language that we think either they are mad or just in hallucination. They are neither. They have learned how to include existence. Their own inner consciousness has become now a life-giving phenomenon. Now whatsoever is planted within becomes alive. It is more colorful, more fragrant, more vital. As if it doesn't belong to this world, this mundane world. It belongs to some other world. Poets know this a little. Mystics know it very deeply. But poets also know it a little. They have a glimpse. They can feel the world included in them. Try it to be inclusive. This is what I mean when I say to be inclusive. Let the tree go in and be rooted there. Let the flower be in and allow it to flower there. You cannot believe. Because there is no other way unless you experience it. Concentrate on a bud of a rose flower. Concentrate on it. Go on concentrating it. And allow it to be transferred to the inner. And when really your inner experience of the bud has become so real that the real bud, the so-called real bud, appears just to be a shadow of it. The real idea is now inside, the real essence is inside. And the outer is just a faint copy. When you have come to this point, close your eyes and concentrate on the inner bud. And you will be amazed because the inner bud will start opening. It will become a flower. And such a flower that you have not known. And you cannot meet that flower outside. Now this is a rare phenomenon. When something starts growing within you, open it, blooming. In this way, be inclusive. And then by and by, allow your boundaries to expand. Include your lovers, your friends, your family. Include strangers. And then, by and by, you will be able to include the enemy. That will be the last point. And when you can include the enemy, and you can allow him to enter in you, be rooted there, and become part of your consciousness, then nothing is inimical to you. Then the whole world has become your home. And nothing is strange. No one is alien. And you are at ease in it. But be aware of the cunning mind. The mind will always say to you something which you cannot do. And when you cannot do, the mind will say, these are absurd things. Leave them. So the mind will make a target which cannot be done. Always remember that, and don't be a victim of your own mind. Always starts from somewhere which is possible. Don't jump to the impossible. If you can grow in the impossible is only the other end of it. It is not opposite to it. It is only the other end. The same spectrum. The other end of the spectrum. And one question more is included in it. How can I be inclusive of my enemy while at the same time going fully into the emotion of hating? Does this not lead to suppression? This is a subtle point to be understood deeply. While you hate, I don't say suppress it. Because whatsoever is suppressed is dangerous. And if you suppress something, you cannot be open ever. Then you create a private world, which will not allow you to include others. You will always be afraid of this, which you have suppressed, because any moment this can come out. So first thing, don't suppress anger, hate, anything. But there is no need to express it on someone. You express it on someone because you feel the other is responsible. That is wrong. The other is not responsible. Only you are responsible. You feel hate because you are hateful. and the other gives you only an opportunity, nothing else. If you come and abuse me, you give me simply an opportunity to bring whatsoever is in me. If there is hate, hate comes out. If there is love, then love will come out. If there is compassion, then compassion will come out. You are just an opportunity for me to be revealed. So if hate comes out, don't feel that other is responsible. He is just instrumental. We have a beautiful word in Sanskrit for it, nimit, instrumental. He is not the cause. Cause is always within. He is just the instrument to bring the cause out. So just be thankful to him. Be thankful that he makes you aware of your own hidden hate. He is a friend. You convert him in an enemy because you impose all responsibility on it. You think that he is creating it. No one can create anything in you. Remember that forever. If you go to Buddha and abuse him, he is not going to hate you. He is not going to be angry to you. Whatsoever you do, you cannot make him angry. Not because your effort is less, but because the anger is not there, you cannot bring it out. The other is not the source of hate. So don't throw it on him. Just be thankful to him, be grateful to him. And the hate that is within you, throw it out onto the sky. One thing. Second thing, be inclusive about hate also. That's a deeper realm, a deeper dimension. Be inclusive of hate also. What I mean when I say this. Whenever something bad, something which you call bad, evil, happens, you never include it in yourself. Whenever something good happens, you include it. If you are loving, you say, I am love. When you hate, you never say, I am hate. When you have compassion, you say, I am compassion. When you are angry, you never say, I am anger. You always say, I am angry, as if anger has happened to you. You are not anger. Just a happening from outside. Something accidental. And when you say, I am love, it seems something essential. Not something accidental that has happened to you. Has come from without. It is coming from within. So whatsoever is good, you include it. And whatsoever bad, you don't include it. Be inclusive of the bad also. Because you are hate. You are anger. And unless you feel this deeply that I am hate, you will never go beyond it. If you can feel I am anger, a subtle process of transformation sets in immediately. What happens when you say I am anger? Many things happen. First, when you say I am angry, you are different from the energy you call anger. This is not true. And from an untrue base, nothing true can happen. This is not true. This anger is you. This is your energy. It is not something separate from you. You separate it because you create a false image of yourself. That you are never angry. That you are never hateful. That you are always loving. That you are always kind and sympathetic. You have created a false image of yourself. This false image is your ego. This ego goes on saying to you, cut anger, cut hate. They are not good. Not because you know they are not good, but because they don't give you the image. They don't feed your ego and your image. You are a good man, respectable, nice, cultured. You have an image. Sometimes you fall down from the image. Those are accidents. You regain your image again. Those are not accidents. Really, they are more true about you. So when you are angry, your true self is revealed more truly than when you are smiling falsely. When you show your hate, you are more authentic than when you pretend love. So the first thing is to be authentic, true. Include hate, include anger, include everything that is in you. What will happen? If you include everything, your false image will fall forever. And that's very good. That's just beautiful, that you are relieved of the false image, because it goes on creating complexities. With the image falling, your ego will fall, which is a door to spirituality. When you say, I am anger, how can you have your ego? When you say, I am hate, I am jealousy, I am cruelty, I am violence, how can you have the ego? The ego can be had easily when you say, I am Brahma, I am the Supreme God. Then it is easy. I am Atma, the Supreme Self. Then it is easy. But when you say, I am jealousy, hate, anger, passion, sex, you cannot have the ego. With the false image, the ego falls. You become true, natural. Now it is possible to understand your reality. Now you can approach your anger without any anti-attitude. It is you. You have to understand it is your energy. And if you can be understanding about your anger, the very understanding changes and transforms it. If you can understand the whole process of anger and hate, in the very process of understanding, it disappears. Because a basic ingredient to be angry and to be hateful is to be ignorant about them, to be unaware about them, to be unalert about them. So whenever you are not alert, you can be angry. When you are alert, you cannot be angry. The alertness absorbs all energy which becomes anger. Buddha has said again and again to his monks that I don't say not to be angry, I say while you are angry, be alert. This is really one of the fundamentals for the mutation. I don't say not to be angry, I say while angry, be alert. Try it. When anger comes, be alert. Look at it, observe it, be conscious of it. Don't be sleepy. And the more alert you are, the less anger. In a moment when you are really alert, anger is not. The same energy becomes alertness. Energy is neutral. The same energy becomes anger. The same energy becomes hate. The same energy becomes love. The same energy becomes compassion. The energy is one. These are all expressions. And there are basic situations in which energy can become a particular mood. If you are unalert, energy can become anger, energy can become sex, energy can become violence. If you are alert, it cannot become. The alertness, awareness, consciousness doesn't allow it to move in those groups. It moves on a different plane. The same energy. Buddha says, walk, eat, sit, whatsoever you do, but do fully conscious, mindful. Aware that you are doing it. Once it happened, Buddha is walking. A fly comes and sits on his head, on his forehead. He was talking to some monks. So without really paying any attention to the fly, he just waves his hand. The fly leaves his forehead. Then he becomes aware that he has done something. Not fully aware, because his awareness was towards the monks to whom he was talking. So he said to the monks, excuse me for a single minute. He closes his eyes. He raises his hand again. The monks are amazed what he is doing, because now there is no fly. He raises his hand again, waves his hand near the spot where the fly was. It is not now there. Brings his hand back, and now he opens his eyes and says, you can ask now. But those monks said, we have forgotten what we were asking. But we want to ask you now what you did. There was no fly now. It was there previously. So what you did? The Buddha said, I did as I should have done before. Fully conscious, raising the hand. It was not good of me. Something has been done unconsciously, automatically, robot-like. Such alertness cannot become anger. Such alertness cannot become hate. Impossible. So first include hate, anger, all that is thought to be bad. Include it in yourself. Include it in your image so that your ego falls down. You come on the ground from the sky. You become true. Then don't throw it on someone else. Let it be there. Express it to the sky. Be fully alert. Move in a room if you are angry. Be alone. And be angry and express your anger. And be alert. Do whatsoever you would have done with the person who was instrumental. Do. You can take his picture there. Or just put a pillow there and say, you are my father. And give a good beating. Be fully alert. Be fully alert what you are doing and do it. It will be a deep realization. The anger will be expressed. And you will be alert. And you will be able to laugh. You will be able to know what stupid thing you are doing. But you could have done this to your real father. You are doing only to the pillow. And if you really do it authentically, you will feel very, very kindly, very loving to your father. When you come out of the room and when you will look at your father's face, you will feel very sympathetic, very loving. Even you would like to ask him to forgive you. This is what I mean by being inclusive. No suppression is needed. Suppression is always dangerous, poisonous. Whatsoever you suppress, you are creating inner complexes, which will continue, and which will make you ultimately mad. Suppression is bound to become madness. Express, but don't express on anyone. There is no need. That is stupid, and creates a vicious circle. Express alone meditatively, and be alert while expressing.